Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, as you guys can see up on the screen, I wanted to talk a little bit about Muln Automotive Incorporated. This is ticker symbol MULN for those of you who may not be as familiar with this company or with this stock. And yeah, today was not a great day for Muln. Obviously, this thing was down 8.48% on the day today, and we're not even at market close yet. This thing is still kind of dropping. When I was first setting up everything to record, I think it was like minus 7.5%, and it's just dropping and dropping and dropping. And yeah, this is a lot of Muln specific stuff going on. Not that there's like one story that I can point to. It's like, oh, this is the reason why Muln dropped today, but it's definitely some Muln specific stuff going on because when you look at the broader market, stocks were green today. You can see the Dow Jones was up 0.38%, the S&P was up 0.48%, NASDAQ up 0.57%, Russell at 0.54%. Now, this was not a majorly green day. It's not like there was just money flying around everywhere, but it was a green day. Everything was positive, and Muln wasn't just less positive than the rest of the market. They weren't just down a little bit. They were down a lot. So this is really, 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 really underperforming the market, which is definitely not a good sign, especially if you are a Muln shareholder. But we'll get into the stories. You know, there is still plenty to talk about. And I haven't posted a Muln video in a couple of weeks, so some of these stories might be a little bit old, not so breaking, but we'll get into some of the newer stuff as well. One of the bigger things recently that I haven't gotten to talk about is that Muln has acquired Bollinger Motors, and Muln Automotive has now responded to shareholders regarding the majority acquisition of Bollinger Motors. This was on Yahoo Finance, where they talk about how David Mishry, the CEO of Muln, obviously has he said that all cash and stock required to close the Bollinger transaction on September 7th, 2022 has been funded or placed in escrow as required by the transaction documents. We are excited about the opportunities this acquisition brings and look forward to updating our shareholders with the positive outcomes resulting from this transaction. So there we go. Muln, picking up some more assets, trying to make some more deals, get some things done. Here you can see some of the things that Bollinger, has in place. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Muln is able to use this new acquisition to their benefit. If it's going to end up being a wise investment, a wise financial decision in the long run, if it's going to have, a return on investment or a significant return on investment. We'll have to wait and see. Again, at least in the short term, Muln has just kind of been going down and down and down. We can zoom out a month. Obviously, if this happened early to mid-September, hey, the market hasn't exactly reacted too positively to it. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and the markets overall aren't doing great right now. So it's not all Muln's fault, but I mean, hey, they didn't get a big jump or anything like that. Some of the newer news, this is just an hour ago, that Muln is now making a bid for ELMS's assets. So Muln is trying to acquire a lot of stuff right now, which is good and bad because this means they're going to be spending a lot of money, using up a lot of stock, stuff like that. But man, if they can really get together a bunch of assets and get together a bunch of valuable pieces going forward in the future, this could really help their growth. This could really help their production. This could really help, the business in a lot of ways. But are they necessarily at a point in time where they should be spending a lot of money acquiring a bunch of different assets and stuff like that? I don't know. I probably think no, actually, but that's at least much more open for debate. So this article talks about troubled EV startup Muln Automotive has emerged as the leading bidder for the assets of bankrupt competitor Electric Last Mile Solutions, ELMS, including a now idle former Hummer SUV factory in Indiana. So again, this would increase their production capabilities, giving them another factory and stuff like that. Muln agreed to a stalking horse bid, I don't know what that means, of almost $100 million in total consideration, according to a September 16th filing by the trustee in Troy-based Electric Last Miles Chapter 7 case. Competing bids are due by October 3rd, and an auction is scheduled for October 7th. So we will not know until October 7th, or maybe even after then, if Muln is actually going to be pulling this thing off, if they're able to get this deal done, and if they're able to acquire all these assets. But again, this isn't going to be cheap. $100 million in total considerations. Details of the offer come after Muln, which aims to bring EVs to market, including a compact SUV and a sports car, announced it was acquiring a majority stake in Bollinger Motors. So I don't know. It seems at this point Muln is just kind of sucking up a lot of the competition. Obviously, there are still very, very big competitors out there, like Tesla, like some of these other legacy car companies, and all these other different brands and stuff out there. But yeah, I don't know. They're making some plays. Like I said, I'm sure people aren't going to love how expensive this stuff sounds. I'm sure people aren't going to love Muln spending more and more money, especially at a point in time where they're not producing anything and not getting cars sold out there. But hey, these are maybe at least potential positive catalysts or positive events for the future. But yet again, hey, market, at least so far, not exactly responding positively to this stuff. Muln unveils details on the Muln 5 RS high-performance EV Sport crossover, and one of the bigger things coming out of this is that the test drive is still on track for next month. That will be a very, very big day where people hopefully, or at least potentially, get to see some of these things in action, and that was posted here as well. The test drive for the 5 is still on track for next month. As previously announced, the first leg of the strikingly different U.S. test drive tour will first showcase the Muln 5 EV crossover and begins next month. Very, very soon, right around the corner. The 5 RS will join the second leg of the tour in the spring of 2023. Due to the high-powered capabilities of the 5 RS, consumers will not be allowed to test drive the vehicle directly at the stage. Instead, Muln will offer consumers the opportunity to ride in the Muln 5 RS alongside a professional IndyCar race car driver. Kind of cool, providing an up-close and personal experience in one of the fastest vehicles available globally. Crazy. Muln will offer front row 5 reservation holders the first chance to test drive and experience a Muln 5 in person on the strikingly different U.S. test drive tour. So, I mean, this is going to be so big. This is going to be huge in so many ways. One, if they actually bring cars to this, let people drive them, actually show that they have a working product and have stuff on the road and have stuff that's capable of being produced and driven, all that stuff. That's going to be big. But then also the reviews coming out of this, people saying what they do or don't like about these Muln vehicles, saying how well or poorly they perform, what things Muln can do better, worse, whatever. That is going to be very, very big as well. And if this goes good, this could be a real confidence booster for investors and really see some positive price movement on Muln in the short and long term. But if this goes bad, if this doesn't happen, if Muln doesn't deliver, if the cars are bad, if they suck, if people don't like them, this could definitely be a very, very big negative catalyst as well. So this is definitely something to watch out for. Kind of a big deal here. I thought this was an interesting post 4 days ago. Gasoline consumption drops to 1997 levels despite plunge in prices. Bullish. Now, they don't have a study or anything here, so I don't even know if this is true. But, I mean, let's say it is true. Yeah, bullish for the EV market. Again, obviously, there are a lot of things. Everyone knows that the EV market is trending up in a lot of ways. Many people, even some of the big car companies, believe EVs, at least to some extent, are the future of cars. And as we continue to see more and more of this, yes, this is going to be a growing industry. Now, is that good for Muln in a way? Yes, it's good for Muln if they're able to acquire some meaningful amount of market share going into the future. And if they're able to fend off competition and fend off bankruptcy and be alive 5, 10, 20 years into the future. So yes, I mean, this is definitely not a bad thing for Muln, but it's definitely something they still need to take advantage of. And it's not something that they're actively taking advantage of right now, again, without producing any meaningful amount of vehicles or having any meaningful amount of the EV market share at this point. But it does show the potential and growth and everything like that. Obviously, you'd love to be in a growing market. You'd love to be in a growing field. And yeah, I mean, maybe people are going to be purchasing gasoline-powered vehicles less and less and moving to EVs, which that's not really a shock. So to me, kind of interesting to see, but kind of a non-story overall. You also had this, a reminder of what the Inflation Reduction Act has earmarked for funding. Does Muln fit into any of these categories? Tax credits for new electric cars, $4,000 for used models. We have initiatives to support domestic manufacturing of electric cars, $30 billion in grants and loans for states and electric companies to transition away from fossil fuels. We have some money for Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, some money for the Department of Agriculture's Natural Resources Conservation Service, $10 billion to improve energy efficiency in lower income homes. You know, all these different kinds of clean technology and stuff like that for EVs. And yeah, people saying, hey, Bollinger might be making some turbines. They for sure sell cars. And if they could land any sort of that post office job, that would be monumental in PR and extra income. So we'll have to see. Could be, you know, some potential money come in the way of Muln, or just some things that are going to help them out overall. And then there were some people talking about whether or not Muln participated in the Detroit Auto Show a couple days ago. Biden was there apparently hanging out, checking some things out. Doesn't seem like Muln was there. Don't really know why. Some people are saying, hey, maybe because they don't have cars on the road, stuff like that right now. I don't know. But this happened. I don't think Muln was there. So, you know, as far as Muln related news, kind of seems like a non-story once again. But it was on subreddit. I want to talk about it. Pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.